Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Firmament. This is what's probably going to be the finale. Maybe one more video after this one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But we've just reached the inside of the spire of Curryvale, and it is very similar to the others so far, except a lot less broken concrete. Probably because it's cold. But we'll see what happens here. Yeah, where's the panel again?
We measure.
And again, the statues look about the same. They don't seem to change. The gauge, the blue one now moves to the center.
And the embrace has now been awakened. Can it be true? Could this really have gone as I planned? You have kept the mission. Now the gateway in the swan will open, and you can prepare for the assembly. Go. We were taught to joyfully anticipate the arrival. Tanner and two others arrived, and we were joyful beyond measure. They were powerful. We obeyed. They knew so much, but they were not patient with us, not kind as we were. We were not used to force. We were peaceful. Yes, we were peaceful, but we were not weak. It troubled us to serve someone else, so they were greater than us. We were taught that all were equal. And then, suddenly, Martha killed one of them. Oh, that moment burned in my mind. Why, Martha? She could not talk about work. That day, nothing.
We've lost the voice during the transport. Huh. Should have stayed and waited. Yet another glitch. Only 12 keepers remained, and the arrivers only Turner remained. Okay. So if I'm... I wonder, I'm getting a nasty feeling about this. But this thing is now open. And we can raise this lift and see what's going on here. And,
Tanner was afraid, I suppose. He became our master and ruled us with a heavy hand. We learned about masters and their weapons. We were subdued and lost. And Turner, rather than intent on the assembly and completing the mission, became intoxicated with this power. Our angry god. He would command and we would comply or die. His every need. Only one of the arrivals could prepare for the assembly. Our mission was in peril, resting in Turner's distracted hands. I had lost hope.
But wait a second. If only the arrivers can prepare for the assembly stuff, and Turner's the only arriver that's left, and I'm doing the prepare for assembly stuff. Um, let's think about that a few minutes. And I'm going to go up the staircase here. I was waiting for her to finish talking because there's a bit of a reveal. There's another conveyance pod. Are we going to have a fourth realm, or wait a second? Have they been... Is this just a conveyance pod shaped elevator? Or have I been lied to and misled this whole time? Has it really just been an elevator all along? Or is this a special one designed to resemble a conveyance pod?
And then a plan came to me. An ingenious plan. I refined it for many weeks. I became close to Turner to use him. I made a wall in my mind for my own sanity, befriending the monster for the greater good. I learned much. I wept much. So, after many weeks, I told my comrade Jacques the truth that I had learned. I knew he would be afraid. He provoked the others, and they all lashed out at me. I convinced Turner to use his weapons to force them into the deep sleep. I told Turner we could wake new ones from the threshold, and I would mentor them to be more compliant as his servants. I gained Turner's praise with this idea, and his trust. Right up until I sedated him and placed him in the threshold as well.
Plot twist.
And so I was alone.
Plot twist.
Prepared. Not for days, or weeks, or even months, but for years. Everyone was gone. The embrace could only be awakened, the assembly could only occur, only with the power of an arriver. But now Turner was in the deep sleep. And you will learn the truth now. The truth of sleep.
I'm not
The
liking
truth
where
of the
this is
mission.
going.
The truth of keeping. And the truth of Turner. Our assembly and ending.
Plot twist. Okay.
The threshold keeps the keepers. The cycle of keepers. Blank new keepers to be mentored. The 7-year cycle. But I will not go to sleep. I will keep my memories. I will not.
Big honkin' cables going somewhere. Alright, so there's a big honkin' door downstairs. which we will get to because that is where the fun starts. I should probably come back out here in a few minutes and see about labeling these pictures. So I think I know who they are. We'll do that in post because we need to do some reading out here first. And there's a computer. I thought this was steampunk. But there's some kind of a large computer here that may or may not be still in use. Hard to tell. Coupling module hatch externally locked. What madness is this? System overwrite 100%. A refrigerator. With something attached to it. I don't know. But we can't go that way because everything is offline. Or because the door's locked, I mean. So I guess we're going to have to go this way. And there's another bulwark suit. And prepare for the and this is the big reveal of the game.
And now, you have experienced the revelation that I had. The grand realms I thought were everything are nothing but firmament, structures. But yet, they held everything dear to me, except my own memories. I have kept those.
To be honest, when I first played this and walked through that door, this was not what I was expecting. This was not something I'd ruled out. But it was not something I was fully expecting. We were obviously on some sort of spacecraft. We are obviously not on the planet. And if we look up, those three sphere things there are strangely reminiscent of the things at the top of the spires in each of the three realms that we have visited. We have a copious amount of that glowy light stuff. I'm going to assume that is to do with cosmic radiation or something, because we're obviously pretty far from home. And we're just going to take a walk around out here and see what we can discover. The answer is there's not much puzzle out here, not much to really do, except just marvel in the what the heck have I been doing for the past couple hours moment that they dropped on you like a ton of bricks, and everything suddenly starts to make a lot of sense. Coupling module lock for module 2. That sounds vaguely familiar. And even that is done with a old-fashioned socket connector for the adjunct instead of, something more rational. This is obviously not of the same steampunk era entirely as most of the realms seem to be. But a lot of sense is now, it makes a lot more sense than it did several minutes ago. Oops, can't go that way.
Can you imagine the first time I saw such a sight? I cannot describe what happened to my body. I did not think Tana would lie, but there's no preparation to face what one has never contemplated, never imagined. I was distraught and opened and offended and freed. I didn't have words to describe to you. And now, I've returned here many times, and still, I do not know where the firmament ends. Can we ever?
Alright, so one thing, as a native English speaker, firmament is not a word in our vocabulary. And one would think that firmament is, firm and it's the ground. But that's not at all what firmament is. Firmament is the sky, the heavens. Atlas inaugural keepers. Wonder if these are Kickstarter backers. Made to look like 18 or 19 teens. I'm trying to find our mentor on here. Because I don't recognize her as any of these, but there's stuff out downstairs here too. Another fridge with a contraption, some sort of stove with a big pipe attached to it. Probably cooling line from the computers. A guitar. Music stand. What? No, okay. Frankenstein, the Red Book. CPHRRN. But if you go into the settings menu, actually not settings, you go into customize, your instrument is the acoustic guitar. So you've seen a couple guitars lurking around here. Your nonfiction book title is the Red Book and Frankenstein, and the initials are AGU. This is the backer version, I guess. And AGU's locker has koalas and guitars. If we go back into customize, Dracula, let's set it to cat. Piano and Descent of Man. And now there's pianos and cats, and the books have changed. So that's a fun little thing to do for Kickstarter backers, I guess. I don't know what that looks like for non-backers. I'll have to reach out to somebody I don't think was a backer. But that is everything from down here. That's been about 20 minutes. So there's a bunch of reading behind this door. Or behind this door. Behind this door. And we come in and there's another thing here. So there's some computers. That's a view of the Swan on a green screen monitor. And some sort of text chart. Temperature. This one is monitoring St. Andrews. And that looks a little bit different than we left it. It's Juleston. And I'm thinking they logged out of the database and locked the screen so we can't tamper with it. Computer equipment. Probably some sort of converter between the various areas of technology we've got here. Look like more sleep pods. There's a fire extinguisher? I don't know. I do not like that sleep pod up there, unless gravity is not a thing on this tub. I want to pause for a moment and get something to drink because my mouth's a little bit dry. And there's a lot of reading here. Hang on. Actually, I think I want to go with this thing here first. A Philadelphia Review from 1910. Indictment of Ohio officials on the left side there. Dateline Chicago. Don't know how Chicago would be involved in indicting Ohio officials, but whatever. The majestic starship Atlas embarks on a stellar odyssey. Firmament initiative ushers in a new era of human ingenuity and optimism. In a dazzling display, Paris, May 7th. In a dazzling display of human brilliance and determination, the colossal starship Atlas has torn from the bonds of Earth, marking the commencement of a pioneering voyage to safeguard humanity's future. The Firmament Initiative, a grand coalition spearheaded by esteemed visionaries such as Andrew Carnegie, Marie Curie, Nikola Tesla, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, Jules Verne, and Karl Marx, seeks to propel mankind into a new epoch of cosmic exploration and preservation. The prodigious Atlas, a vessel unlike any other, is designed to traverse the celestial expanses on a multi-generational journey. After over a decade of monumental efforts, the so-called Great Lift triumphantly concluded, using gargantuan rail rifles to thrust 16 million tons of indispensable cargo into the celestial abyss. Bearing the Greek name for incomplete, Atlas, the Atlas was assembled and commissioned under the unyielding hope that future advancements will augment and perfect the vessel as it journeys through the cosmos. Gracefully propelled by a sophisticated steam propulsion system and massive sunlight sails, Starship Atlas is poised to advance the marvels of technological progress. Within the Atlas, the keepers inhabit massive realms, carefully preserving the ship's cargo. Sequestered and protected, these individuals adhere to a strict regimen, safeguarding their duty's integrity. The groundbreaking threshold sleep chambers sustain the keepers' well-being, allowing extended periods of suspended restfulness. Newly awakened keepers, having freshly renewed minds, are re-mentored by experienced keepers, ensuring a seamless transfer of expertise across generations. The keepers' unwavering dedication is a testament to the Firmament Initiative's foresight, crucial to the Starship Atlas's mission success. The crew, A select group of skilled astronauts will give their lives to maintain a watchful eye on the unknowing keepers and the Atlas. Stationed in the ship's fore, they will be refreshed with new arriving members on rare occasions to ensure the mission's smooth progress. As the journey nears its end, a final crew, known as the Arrivers, is expected to join the mission. The Keeper's lore has been embedded to inform them of this final arrival, so that the Keepers and crew can at long last, join in preparing the Atlas for its ultimate destination, a magnificent and welcoming new Earth. Let all join together in celebration of this historic event as we bear witness to the dawn of a new age of exploration and wonder. With the launch of the starship Atlas, humanity takes its first steps toward the stars, and we stand united, ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Godspeed, Starship Atlas. May you carry us towards a brighter tomorrow. Behold the Starship Atlas, a majestic marvel of human ingenuity, embarking on a boundless voyage across the cosmos with advanced steam propulsion, intricate solar sails, and a revolutionary threshold sleep chamber system housing the valiant crew and keepers on their grand multi-generational odyssey. Which I think the paper already said in the main article. And there's other stuff that got cut off here that I don't really care about. 1910, a new English ruler. Can't think who that would be off the top of my head. Edward the Seventh, George the Fourth. I don't know. And the rest of it got cut off here, so we'll go ahead and start reading the next document in the list, which is this piece of green bar paper over here. Firmament Initiative Synopsis, Revision 77U1, September 9th, 1972, or September 2nd, or February 9th, depending on which date format that's in. Introduction. Welcome to the Firmament Initiative, a multi-generational, multinational, privately funded endeavor designed to preserve and secure the future of humanity through interstellar exploration. Your participation, dedication, and service to this monumental mission is acknowledged and appreciated. Classified, please note that due to the nature and duration of this mission, this information is exclusively for the crew's perusal. Keepers must remain segregated, concentrating on the preservation of the cargo without distraction. Founders Andrew Carnegie, Marie Curie, Karl Marx, Nikola Tesla, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, and Jules Verne. Okay, I want to pause here. Carnegie, if I remember correctly, was a steel or oil magnate back in this late 1800s, early 1900s. And he's probably the one that's the realm of St. Andrew is named for. Describing an 18th century industrialist as a saint, not something we hear very often these days. All right, Marie Curie, well-known chemist, physicist, very well known for her discovery and work with radium to the point where she died of radiation sickness. Karl Marx, who probably wrote all of the things the speakers are shouting and the keepers, the tale of the troublesome keeper. I was definitely picking up some communist undertones in some of the stuff that was going on, and if Mr. Marx was involved, that would be why. Tesla, brilliant scientist, electrical engineer type, ahead of his time. Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, I believe, worked on rockets and theory of orbits and that kind of stuff. I'm not entirely sure. And Jules Verne is a well-known science fiction writer. 2000 Leagues Under the Sea, Journey to the Center of the Earth, I think are both his. I will fact check this in post. Okay, Starship Atlas background, Phase 1, The Great Lift. Phase 1 centered on sending crucial Earth-based elements, minerals, flora, fauna, into orbit. The founders utilized their considerable resources to launch massive projectiles into orbit using 12 colossal rail rifles situated at various mountainous locations on Earth. Between 1895 and 1907, over 6,000 containers of cargo were transported into space, totaling more than 16 million tons, including technology for the assembly of the Starship. In 1910, the mission commenced, with the Atlas gradually accelerating towards a nearby star system via rudimentary steam propulsion and solar sails. Phase 2, the augmentation. The Atlas initially possessed very limited acceleration capabilities. The mission's design relied on future advancements in space technology to enhance the Starship during its journey. The founders correctly anticipated that future technology would be able to catch up with and upgrade the Atlas, potentially redirecting it to a different star system if a more suitable one was discovered. The timing and frequency of such augmentations were uncertain, but attachment and docking ports were incorporated in anticipation, and we came through several of those on our way into this computer room. The Starship, Phase 3, the embrace and the arrival. The Starship Atlas features artificial gravity generated by the vessel's rotation. To create the required gravity, cargo realms are positioned further from the center of rotation, resulting in a structurally weaker vessel susceptible to stress during intense acceleration. Consequently, the ship was also designed to retract and secure the cargo realms during periods of high acceleration. It was expected this would only be necessary deceleration for arrival or for a final upgrade, providing another sheet of paper, unanticipated thrust. The Keepers were prepared for these events with a narrative combining the arrival of trained personnel required to engage the embrace and the actual arrival of the Starship Atlas at its final destination. Personnel: the Keepers. Acknowledging that a journey to even the closest star system could take centuries or millennia, the founders designed the ship's maintenance to be performed by Keepers. Keepers reside in large cargo realms, rotating in and out of sleep chambers that enabled them to live for the mission's entire duration. Wow. The sleep process gradually purges memories, starting from the most recent. As a result, Keepers are limited to a maximum sleep duration of 12 years before being awakened and retrained. Mentors facilitate the retraining process by passing on their knowledge and preparing for sleep. To minimize social complications among Keepers, a tightly controlled and rigorously maintained protocol was established. Keepers are not informed of the mission's nature and are instead taught that they existed within 3 small realms, comprising their entire universe. Questioning was discouraged, and all necessary answers were provided through strict cultural indoctrination. The crew. A small group of trained astronauts is accommodated at the ship's floor. The crew's primary responsibility is to remotely monitor their Keepers and ensure the smooth operation of the mission during launch and subsequent upgrades. The crew has access to threshold suspension chambers, but their usage is limited to approximately 1 year. Suspension periods exceeding 2 years pose memory loss risks, which could compromise the crew's effectiveness. Consequently, the crew members are expected to live out their lives in support of the mission. It is of the utmost importance that the crew remain separated from the Keepers to prevent interference with the Keepers' strictly dictated culture. The only exception to this segregation is the arrivers. As the mission progresses, it is anticipated that the frequency of upgrades will increase due to advancements in space travel, engines, and speeds. The final stages of the mission will likely occur rapidly, necessitating the arrival of a final crew known as the Arrivers. The Keeper's lore predicts the arrival of this group, who will require access to the realms to prepare for the ship for acceleration and deceleration. Only members of the crew, specifically the Arrivers, are authorized to prepare the Starship Atlas in this manner. Note: detailed information and specific procedures for all aspects of crew tasks and protocol can be found in volumes 1 through 22 of the Firmament Initiative Protocol and Procedures. Digital versions are available on Disk A to End. Well, that explains everything. I'm not going to recap that as I usually would. Um, we'll come back to the green bar on the left here in a few moments. I have no one to share my joy with, and so I write, "What wonders! Everything I had known has turned into nothing. My world has been replaced by truth, a word I scarcely knew existed until I realized I needed it. Upon discovering this truth of the Firmament initiative, I now find myself privy to a new perspective and what Turner called freedom. Freedom, my entire reality. Have I ever pondered the existence of such a word or concept? What I once believed to be limited to the small realms I lived in is in fact a grander stage encompassed by an infinite cosmos. What wonders! I have been granted the privilege of gazing upon the stars, and as I do, I cannot help but feel this overwhelming sense of small, but this kind of small is a feeling of such joy. I'm humble, I'm inspired. My tiny world is a minuscule part of a thing called the universe. It is astonishing to think the entire mission, everything I've known and believed, was designed to protect our future and the future of all humans. As I learn more about this grand endeavor, I am filled with hope and excitement for the untold possibilities that lay before all of us. It's almost hard to believe or fathom, and yet my joy is dampened when I think about such a great deception that was considered necessary and done to me." And there's a star chart. Another star chart. And I don't know enough about astronomy to notice anything about that. Now we have a green bar paper here. Database search, database crew name Turner, format screen, detail terse. Multiple it found, select from several. It wants Louis Dharma Turner. Employment history 2100 to 2105, Ensign Class C Nexus Protectorate Corporation, Karachi Inc. Division. Okay, it doesn't tell me anything, except this is about 100 years into the future from where I'm sitting right now. 2106 to 2115, Corporate Security Officer, Firmament Industries, Eastern Field Storage. 2110 to 2017, Lieutenant Junior Grade, Firmament Industries Inc., Military Police, Ensign Class C, Space Force Division. 2118 to present, Ensign, Firmament Industries Inc., Security and Amelioration Duty, Cruise Ship Nicola, Lottery Draft, Atlas Recon, and Augment. Carceral record, jail record. 2105, Bias Motivated Offense, Level 3, Level 2, 3 terms served. 2109, Insubordination, Level 1, 2.4 terms served. 2116, Misconduct, Level 3, 9 terms served. 2117, Contract Breach, Level 4, 1 term served. Bias Motivated Offense, Insubordination, Misconduct. How does this guy become an arriver on the Atlas? How does this guy get a position of power when he's proven that he's not trusted with power, not trustworthy with power? Here's the cruise threshold sleep system. Not sure what those are. Probably just storage of materials. And that's what we were doing with all the realm stuff. More pods. X, X, X. That must be the bridge. And this hallway seems a little more worn than I would expect. I mean, that it just looks kind of worn down.
Scanning. Biosignature confirmed. Turner, Louis Donald. Earth equivalent date 2231-3-17. The United Earth Space Agency sends its sincere gratitude and greetings, Ensign Turner. Mission protocol requiring your presence and approval is now satisfied. Thank you for your preparations to Firmament Starship Atlas. No further human intervention is required. All additional assembly, preparations, and flight control will be handled autonomously by me. Final full engine upgrades to Starship Atlas now commencing. Stand by for space folding and transport to the Tau Ceti system.
I was beginning to think I was Turner. I was not thrilled with that solution, that other plot twist. That is written in some Asian language that I can't identify off the top of my head. There's another deck below here that's got some stuff on it, but we're not allowed to go there because we have to talk to the mentor.
I was never given a choice. The firmament protected, restrained, and used us. You understand that now? And I have not given you a choice. I placed you in the threshold 7 years ago. You slept and forgot. I sat alone and remembered. You woke up, I lied to you, and used you. You see how it feels? You arrived and pulled back the curtain of this monumental illusion for me. Now, I thought I knew so much, but you astonished me with how small my world was. And as you held my awe, my veneration in your hand, you closed your fist around us. We were like children, and you tore our small world apart. I have thought of this moment often as I waited. I wish I was alive now to see your face. There is a part of me that hopes you are enraged. Oh, it's not reasonable, I know. These violent thoughts never get us very far. You were our God. And then, you were our monster. Do you feel some kind of remorse now? Can there even be atonement without choice? It doesn't matter. At the very least, I used you to provide the way home for the keepers. My comrades, my family. But now, maybe you can do more than just the very least. One choice remains for you, And I will not beg a man such as you, but I will ask. Do something good with this second life you have been given. Remember the keepers. Those you looked down on and mocked. Those you erased. I forced you to travel their path, to learn their names, understand what they accomplished, miracles. And you, now you have become the most important keeper of all. The keeper of all these memories. You sit on the verge of the awaited destination. A new world, a new home. When you arrive, you can choose to tell the stories that only you now know. You can tell the tales of the keepers of this grand spaceship. And we worked so hard to save all of this, including even you. Adieu.
And she's done. And we're done, because this thing is starting to kick into high gear. Yeah.
Starship Atlas has now been upgraded and is fold engine enabled. Prepare for acceleration and full jump to the Tau Ceti system. Any questions you may have will be answered upon arrival, which will occur in approximately 7.4 hours. New life awaits you and your fellow Atlas comrades on planet Firma. Thank you for your service to the Firmament Initiative, Ensign Turner.
And cut and roll credits. Alright, that's it for Firmament. Overall, I like the game. It's another fine outing from the Cyan crew. I have some suggestions, some things I would do differently. If you look at all the other Cyan games like Myst and Riven, you're kind of dumped into a situation without the proper training and instructions. And you're eventually able to, especially in Abduction, you start picking up an idea of what's going on about a third of the way into Abduction. You have a pretty decent idea in Myst within 15-20 minutes if you're the type to click on everything and find the imager. And Riven, Atris actually tells you part of what you need to know at the start. But this game, you know what you're supposed to do, but you don't have any clue of the big picture until the very end. And then once you cross that hidden elevator slash conveyance pod, you're given a bunch of info dumps and then a lecture by your mentor. And that is a bit off-putting to me, and it's just... I get that the mission required them to keep the people clueless, but I disagree that's the right way to run a mission like that. So, yeah, if I was designing this game, there wouldn't be a big info dump at the end. You would be picking up clues. I get that that doesn't exactly match with the story they were trying to tell, but still, every other game they built has the reveals spaced out. Other than that, the other concern I have with this game is that it is fairly short. That's what happens with Kickstarters and indie studios. They make shorter games. And the other major concern is that everything, and I mean everything, uses the adjunct. And just once, I would have liked a regular light switch or a big red button to not push. It's just that started to get very repetitive. The more you play, the more it becomes a problem in tracking down where's the socket, which options do I pick, and there's better ways to do that. And I get the VR first approach, but as a non VR user, that was kind of repetitive and kind of got old. But other than those complaints, the graphics were great. It was very immersive. The puzzles mostly made sense, except there were a couple that were a bit longer and more frustrating than they could have been, and that may just be my play style or lack of having played any adventure games since Abduction, really, and Infra, and just needing to be guided towards the end, which is fine. Yeah, so just sit back, enjoy the rest of the credits, and we will see you next for Riven. And then I also have downloaded the new Ken and Roberta Williams Colossal Cave. So once I get through that a couple times, we'll be playing through that one. All right, so thanks for watching. Tune in next time for some Riven, and we'll go from there. Thanks.